Hello, it's Clayton Kershaw back with another video finally. And today I just wanted to get this out really quick because you notice how I've not been dropping videos. I don't really have the time to do that, but I really wanted to do this video. And this is not every single free agent, but it's a good grasp of where I think the top free agents are going to go. And the top free agents are at the top of this list. So we're gonna jump through these, and it's just a good way to get these out. So first we have Zack Greinke, and I just no. We have Aaron Loup going back to the Tampa Bay Rays. We have Zack Greinke going to the Houston Astros. They're gonna re-sign him after this season, and they're gonna be a sneaky team to sign him back. Now, Justin Verlander to the Detroit Tigers. So I've heard rumors that Detroit wants to get wild in free agency, so why not? It's not a bad idea to bring Justin Verlander back to help mentor these young pitchers. Clayton Kershaw, he's not going anywhere but staying with the Dodgers. I can't see him in any other team. And this could be a guy that stays with his team his whole career. Max Scherzer to the Padres. So, the Padres could not get that deal done back at the deadline, but this time they're going to bring Max Scherzer in through free agency because I doubt the Dodgers are going to have enough money to pay him. So the next one is Khris Bryant. He loves it out there in San Francisco, and it gives the Giants a nice bat. So he stays in San Francisco. Marcus Stroman stays with the New York Mets. I doubt what the new general manager is going to do in free agency, but we can start it off by bringing back Marcus Stroman. Kevin Gausman, he's done awesome this year with the Giants. He should be back. No, Marcus Semien to the Cincinnati Reds. I know the Reds have Kyle Farmer, but Marcus Semien would give them a good bat. Cause I don't think the Jays are retaining him because they have some nice young players, Biggio and Bichette, who are infielders. Now, this might be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, of them all. Freddie Freeman going back to the Atlanta Braves. Now, the only team I can see him going to is the Dodgers. But with the Braves already being up a game, I don't know where they're going to be from this standpoint on. It's pretty impressive that they're there when they don't have Acuna or Soroka. So next year, when they get those two guys back, they have a higher chance of winning the World Series. And I know he loves the organization, and his family likes it there. Well, his wife and his kids like the Braves organization. So I just don't know why he will leave. I think the deal will get done. Freddie Freeman staying with the Atlanta Braves. Kenley Jansen of the Cincinnati Reds. So the Reds brought in all these bullpen arms, but none of them are as big as Kenley Jansen. So kind of a sneaky pickup. again, I don't think the Dodgers are going to re-sign everybody. Maybe they will. I don't know. But Kenley Jansen to the Cincinnati Reds. Well, even if they could, you'd probably think that the Braves would knock them off because based on these predictions. Brandon Belt, the Cleveland Indians. Brandon Belt was a very good San Francisco. My apologies, Cleveland Guardians. Yeah, he's been a very good first baseman for San Francisco this year. And it's kind of like a bat that the Indians would want to pick up. This next one is Alex Scott of the Chicago Cubs. So, yeah, Chicago traded away like everybody. But now they have one of the highest salary caps now. And they're still going to bring guys in. There's no doubt about that. They get Nick Madrigal back, who they got from the trade. Well, they've made 2 trades with the Chicago White Sox. But I think the Cubs would still bring guys like Alex Cobb and others that are coming later in this video. No, this is a big shortstop indeed in the form of Trevor Story going to the New York Yankees. I think he'd be a huge upgrade over Gleyber Torres. And yeah, I think the Rockies were very stupid to not trade him at the deadline. And maybe he'll stay in Colorado, but there's really no point in doing that. So the Yankees get their shortstop, and Colorado's in for a rough one. Corey Seager to the Chicago Cubs. So this is another big one. So I saw this on a list of predictions, and I really liked it. And also, the Dodgers should shed some cap. Because even if they do shed some cap, because they can shed guys like Seager, Chris Taylor, and Kenley Jansen, and then still be all right. Because they have so much of a cap on their team. And who knows about Trevor Bauer? And he's supposedly coming back next season. The Dodgers fans are lucky. This next one is Danny Duffy to the Seattle Mariners. The Seattle Mariners had 2 really good left-handed pitchers. Yusei Kikuchi and the other guy, I can't pronounce his name. I think it's Julius Sheffer. No, that's the Rockies. But anyway, Danny Duffy is a really good starting pitcher. The Dodgers weren't able to use him because of the injury. But he can help the Mariners out for their playoff push. So they almost got there this year. Now a big one. Nelson Cruz to the New York Mets. So we are 80% sure that the National League is going to have DH next year. So the Mets, like Nelson Cruz is a guy that the Mets need. He's a very clutch power hitter, and he can slide in there right in that lineup and be an offensive killer for those Mets. And still at the age of 41, which is pretty old. But I can only see this move happening if the National League gets DH. Andrew Miller. Now this will be a stinky pickup for the Marlins. Andrew Miller's getting old, but he's still like a reliable left-handed reliever. And that's exactly what the Marlins need. Michael Conforto, he'll leave New York to go to Seattle. It'd be a pretty good guy for Seattle's outfield. Ooh, Carlos Correa to the Los Angeles Angels. Now, he could very well. I think I might go back and change this. Return to Houston. But if he doesn't, then he's gonna get that deal that George Springer did, but with the Angels. Javier Baez staying with the New York Mets. Him and Lindor was just, I love that tandem, even though I'm a Braves fan. Cory Kluber to the Atlanta Braves. So let me explain this one. So I know Atlanta has Soroka coming back, and they have Waskar and all those young guys, but let's say if a guy goes down, and also Soroka is not projected to come back till May. So to open the season, you'd have Charlie Morton as your one starter, Max Fried as your two, Ian Anderson as your three, Waskar Inoue as your four, and then who I have no clue who would be five, because Drew Smiley's not coming back. That was a waste of money. But who do you put at five until Soroka comes back? And even when Soroka comes back, if they did sign a guy like Cory Kluber, then they could put him in there. And let's say when Soroka comes back, you put Waskar in the bullpen. Or let's say if a guy goes down the rotation, you can put Waskar back into the rotation. And then there's all these guys in the minors like Kyle Muller. Kyle Wright could be good sometime next year. So the Braves have so much pitching depth that they could say we don't need to sign any starting pitchers, but I think it would be safe to sign Cory Kluber. Especially how well he's still been doing, especially down the stretch. And I thought they were going to sign this guy last year, but they signed Charlie Morton. So I think they'll finally get this signing done. And yes. So Trevor Rosenthal, he signed with the A's this year. Didn't get to play. But so since Ryan Tepera is a free agent, let's just sign Trevor Rosenthal. He'll be a beast out in the Chicago with Michael Kopech and stuff. Drew Smiley. So I made this a while ago, and yeah, the Tigers always like to make some like decent free agent pickups and try to trade them at the deadline, and they never work. So I could see the Tigers getting some better guys like Jose Iglesias, and I have them getting Verlander, but like just bigger type of free agents. But Drew Smiley is they could try to bring him in and make him better. I mean, he was originally from Detroit, so yeah, probably be good there. The same thing with Brad Hand and Jose Iglesias. Brad Hand has been good for the Mets once he got waived by the Blue Jays. And Andrelton Simmons, I have really good potential for Zach Short, so they can put Andrelton Simmons in there, and because Andrelton Simmons, the Angels didn't work out. He got traded from the Braves. He hardly got any playing. Well, he hardly got playing time as he wanted with Minnesota. So he goes to an organization where they have a young team and they're competing, and maybe, who knows, maybe he'll start to hit. So Andrelton Simmons would be a really good fit for Detroit. Dylan Betances, staying with the Mets. Just throw that one out there. Same thing with Joey's Familia. I can't see him leaving New York. Michael Pineda going back to the New York Yankees. I think that's a fair pick. Essentially, he used to pitch for the Yankees. Noah Syndergaard going out to Colorado, try to revamp his career. Adam Ottavino staying with the Boston Red Sox. He was a really good arm for us. The Yankees just threw him away. Tommy Pham is a guy that would also really help the Mets, and the Padres just have a full team. Like, they got Adam Frazier, who's not a free agent. They have Trent Grisham. You could do anything with that Padres lineup. Yeah, so Tommy Pham is a guy that you probably wouldn't be a bad benefit of letting go. The same thing with Eric Hosmer. Cory Dickerson going to the Washington Nationals. Now, the Washington Nationals are going to rebuild, so I don't think they're going to do much as the Tigers would. But the Tigers are ready to compete. But let's say this is another pick that would be just a revamp of the player's career. Zach Davies. Zach Davies has been interesting all of his career. And, like, the Twins just sounded like a nice team for him. James Paxton going back to one of his former coaches, Joe Girardi. He was hurt in 2021, but who knows how he's going to do. What I think the Phillies need is a consistent left-handed starter. And James Paxton, he's one of the best left-handed starters out there. So Joe Girardi likes to bring in his former Yankees. And James Paxton, I hate to say it as a Braves fan, but we just a fantastic pickup for the Phillies. Dylan Bundy. Now, the Tampa Bay Rays don't need starting pitchers. They've done so many rotation changes, I don't even know what they've done. But Dylan Bundy, he was a good pitcher too. He was a top pitcher 2 years ago. Tampa Bay Rays should bring him in. especially if they have had pitching troubles against the Red Sox in the DS. Eduardo Rodriguez, he's still pretty young. I don't know why the Red Sox would get rid of him. And I don't even know who else would be interested besides Boston. Jorge Soler, I love seeing him as a Braves fan. The fans have loved him. He's loved it. He just goes into the culture in the dugout. And if we had DH, yeah, if National League gets DH, he'd be a good fit for that. But I still think his fielding is better than Marcell Ozuna. So there's your right fielder. And if it's not this year, let's try to get it next year, Atlanta Braves. Jorge Soler will be a big part in that. Raisel Iglesias, going back to his former rival team, he's always been a filthy closer, and I think a fine closer for the Reds. I know they have Cody here, who I think is going to be their longtime closer. But that was just a wild pick I made. Robbie Ray. I don't know if he's going to win the Cy Young or not. But what a turnaround this guy's had this year. And I think the Blue Jays should bring him back. Scott Kazmir retires. But nice try, though. Jose Quintana. Somebody that sounds like somebody the Rangers would pick up. Jay Happ to the Baltimore Orioles. I just threw this one out there. But who knows? Just scoop up on those washed out veterans, Baltimore. I don't know why this one's on here because he already got extended. Jordan Lyles minor league contract with the Atlanta Braves. Again, bringing veteran depth. Like I don't care at this point. Teams going through so many starting pitchers, just bringing the depth. Eddie Rosario. That Paulo Sandoval trade was awful. So he's gonna Eddie Rosario. I don't think he'll go back to Atlanta. I'm probably for sure on that, but the Cardinals. I know that the Cardinals have a really good outfield, but platoon, DH, whatever you want, because his fielding is not as good as it used to be. So yeah, he did good as a leadoff hitter in Game 1 of the NLCS, but he'll probably be some kind of a DH because I know they're non-tempering Matt Carpenter. Eduardo Escobar. Again, I don't think he's leaving either. I just felt like he would return. Montana, a lot of people say Atlanta Braves. Like I don't really know much about this guy, but keep him, please, A's. Andrew Heaney, he's done awful this year. he got traded to the Yankees, and then now he's a free agent because he got outrighted the minors, and he refused it, obviously. So, trying to help him out, A's, they lost Jesus Luzardo, but let's hope Andrew Heaney can be the pitcher he was back in 2020. Chris Taylor going to join up Kike Hernandez in Boston. Now again, the Red Sox are filled with outfielders, but this guy can play any position you ask for. Like, I'd take this guy at second base over Christian Arroyo. And I have another pick coming up later in this video that would be their first baseman. So if you sign this guy and then the guy I have next, you might as well writing your ticket as American League champions. I think the Rays are going to give Chris Archer one more chance. I don't even know what else this guy has in stake for him. John Gray, big pickup for the Baltimore Orioles, who just struggle on pitching year after year after year, and they're like the worst team year after year. Anthony DeSclafani, he was on Draft Neck Marks for predictions last year for the Mets. But this year he's going to go to the Mets. Again, you can never have enough pitching. Archie Bradley, going back to the Cincinnati Reds, even though he could stay with the Phillies because they need bullpen arms. Anthony Rizzo to the Boston Red Sox. A lot of people thought they were going to trade for him, but it sounds, like the Cubs gave up, no, the Yankees gave up, was it Alcantara and Vizcaíno for him? So, it would be better for the Red Sox to get into a free agency, and that's exactly what I have them doing here. And it sounds like a perfect Red Sox pickup. Daniel Hudson staying at the Padres after getting traded from the Nationals. Kirby Yates trying again at the Toronto Blue Jays. Corey Knebel, I know all the offers and stuff, but Dodgers must have seemed to really like him, so stay with the Dodgers, Corey Knebel. Rick Porcello, I know he didn't play this year, but he'll try things with the Cubs. Maybe he's a bullpen arm. Steven Matz returning to the Mets because I think he belonged there. Starling Marte, no, I hated having to do this one, but the Philadelphia Phillies' biggest problem this year was center field. They went through 4 different center fielders. Hazley, Quinn, I think Jankowski played some, but Starling Marte, would be just that is what the Phillies need out there from the offensive production of center field. Yeah, and he'll crush the Braves, but it's just a good guy that the Phillies would pick up. Yan Gomes, he was a really good offensive. He's never been an offensive catcher, but this year he kind of was. And the Padres need like a top catcher. and he'll be catching his old teammate not Yan Gomes. He'll be catching his old teammate Mad Max. Hector Neris staying with the Philadelphia Phillies after all these walk problems still. John Lester staying with the Cardinals. Michael Lorenzen going the same path as DeSclafani did to the San Francisco Giants. Michael Givens to the Houston Astros. Joe Smith staying with the Seattle Mariners. I really didn't like that trade though, but the Seattle Mariners did it. So Jonathan VR teaming up with Marcus Semien. Who knows if he can be a bench player? I just don't know at this point. Joakim Soler to the Detroit Tigers. I think they need some couple really good veteran bullpen arms. Joakim Soler is not great, but he's a good pickup. Leury Garcia staying at the White Sox. Michael Fears retiring. He looks old. I don't think there's anything for him left at this point. Brad Miller going to the Oakland A's. Maybe who knows what he'll do, but he's been a really good underrated hitter the past few years. Martin Maldonado, Astros played him over Jason Castro this year, so they're keeping him. There's no doubt about that. Daniel Norris, the Philadelphia Phillies need to get a left-handed reliever that's not named Jose Alvarado. They had to move Ranger Suarez to the starting rotation because there's not really. I was surprised he would be able to do that, but there's not really anybody else who would able to fill that rotation. Donovan Solano staying with the Giants. Jose Urena, minor league deal with the Toronto Blue Jays. And the last one is Ryan Tepera to the Chicago Cubs. So that is it. Let me know what you think. Make your own videos of your predictions. And I can't wait for this exciting off season. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.